Hello, everybody. It's me, Huggy Wuggy, also known as Slushy. Holy crap, this thing's hot. So, yeah, I had to find some sort of use to wear this for a video. So I figured, what better thing to wear it for than this video talking about my problems with Poppy Playtime, which seems totally backwards. You would think this would be a video talking about why I love Poppy Playtime so much, but I have to make this video after just playing. I wish I could put this in the background somewhere where you can see it. I guess that's all right. You can kind of see him back there. I also have this Huggy thing that was sitting on my table that got knocked over. So yeah, okay, whatever. Um. Oh, and I really just wanted to show this off just because of how cool it is. So this is the PS5 copy of uh, the Poppy Playtime triple pack thing. I mean, that's what the reverse cover looks like. I like it a lot better than the actual cover, personally. I think this cover kind of blows. I mean, it's not bad or nothing. It's just very monotone versus this, which has really cool character art. I really like this art. So, like, I don't know. I like it a lot better. I don't know who would choose the inside art over that. Maybe if somebody didn't know that it was reversible, I guess. I don't know why or how you wouldn't notice that, because as soon as you open it up, you can see it. Yeah, and they give you these little stickers too. That's pretty cool. I can't wait for the full collection of chapter, all of the chapters included, like the chapter 4 or 5, however many chapters we get. So, I really wanted to talk about this because I just got done with chapter 5, and ever since chapter 4, like chapter 3 was really, like chapter 1, 2, and 3 felt like a cohesive story, and I really felt like they were going somewhere with it. And then I thought that maybe they could go somewhere else with the chapter 4, and I was looking forward to it. And I played it, and I did enjoy it at the time. There was problems I had with it that I never really faced until chapter 5 ended. When chapter 5 began, I should say, I started to understand what I had a problem with. And chapter 5 just basically punctuated those problems. It made them even bigger. It made the problems that I thought were small even more glaring for me. And like, I'm not talking about some things that I've seen, like people saying that characters um, don't have enough screen time or whatever. That doesn't bother me. That's not what I'm upset about. Like, sure, I think Pianosaurus could have been used a lot better. Yarnaby could have been used a lot better. I really think that the Yarnaby sequence in that game was, I don't know, it was really weird. It was kind of annoying at the same time, but I feel like once you've played it once, you understand exactly what to do, then it's extremely easy to beat. So I also feel like Yarnaby wasn't utilized also, and Doughy was kind of just there. So that game really had a lot of like bosses, if you want to call them that, that were just there. And then of course the Doctor. The Doctor's he's gonna be making a comeback in chapter 6. Obviously, that's how chapter 5 ends. Spoiler alert. If you're watching this, you've probably already seen anything about chapter 5. Because if you're as big of a fan as me, you've either played the game, or if you're not somebody who plays games, you wouldn't watch somebody play the game. I have yet to watch a single gameplay because I just finished the game, so I don't even know what some of my favorite YouTubers said about it. But this is my personal take after beating the game. And I put many hours into the game. I sacrificed a lot of sleep because I played this game after I get out. I make videos when I get home from work. Usually I'll do something else, like play a video game in my private time just to, decompress. And then I'll make a video, and then I'll edit the video, then I'll upload it, then I'll go to sleep and get ready for work in the next morning. So I kind of do this right after getting out of work, or a little bit after getting out of work. So I'm already tired when I come home. But I did. I put like 4 hours and 30 minutes into the game, and so I have many experiences with the game. I cut out a lot of stuff from the footage just because there was a lot of me running around trying to figure out what to do, where to go, what means what does this code mean, what is this puzzle trying to tell me, where do I find the answer to this puzzle, is the puzzle even a thing that I have to do? It's like there's so many questions sometimes, and there is honestly sometimes where it's irrelevant, and sometimes it's like so obvious, it's right in front of your face, and you just have to stop looking into everything. I feel like so many times these games try to make you like look past what they're trying to tell you, and then other times they're like, what are you doing? Why are you overthinking stuff? It's right there. Just look at the piece of paper that tells you the code. That's the answer to the puzzle. And other times it's like, hey, you got to go through this vent here to find this, and then you got to complete this power puzzle in order to get the code to the door, and then you got to complete this other puzzle to actually get to the door. You know, it's always something complicated like that. And then they flip the switch, and then they give you something easy. But by the time you get to the easy puzzle, your mind is tuned to thinking that every puzzle is going to be difficult. That's going to take a lot of brain power. So you try to put all that brain power into it when really you don't need to put any. It's just right there. It's like a piece of paper telling you, there's the code, put it in. But you know, like I said, you're just so prone to following what your mind says, which is the hard thing. You feel like you have to do what's more, you know, mind consuming, I guess you could say. This chapter specifically, like chapter 5, I was so looking forward to this because it was being hailed. I'm not going to say Mob directly came out and said, hey, this is the final chapter. I don't vividly remember them saying that anywhere. But there was a lot of promotions and stuff that kind of led us on to think that this would be the final one, not to mention it is a chapter 5. A number like 5 is a good way to end the game, or end the series. 5's a good number. You know, you don't want to end it on a 4. You don't want to end it on like a 6 or a 7. Whatever. You want to end it on something like a 5 or a 10 or something like that, or even just a trilogy, 1 through 3, complete trilogy. You don't want to end it on a 5. I mean, on a 6 or something like that. It's just a weird number. So at this point, I really feel like they're on a trajectory to go to 10, which scares the hell out of me. And there's reasons why, and I'm going to get to those in a minute here. That's what this whole video is building towards. It's because I feel like there's so many things that they're purposely doing just to extend the series, and that's my biggest issue with Poppy Playtime. It's honestly the one issue that's starting to kill the enjoyment I get out of these games, because it's like when you can tell that someone's just delaying something just to keep it going, it's like, come on, man. Like, even if you would have made chapter 5 a little bit longer, and we would have had a conclusion to the Doctor storyline, and it would have concluded the Prototype storyline, I would have been perfect with that. These games are not cheap, man. I just have to say that. They're not super cheap. They're $20. The last 2 games, I believe. I think chapter 4 was $20. If it wasn't $20, it was $15. But this game was $20, and I really feel like chapter 4, I got more time out of chapter 4 than I did this game, which kind of annoys me, because I paid more for this game, and it does feel a little bit shorter. I'm not sure if it is, or if it's just the way that I played through it, and maybe I didn't get all the secrets. I'm sure I didn't get all the secrets, because I don't play for all the secrets. I just play to beat the game. But it felt a lot shorter for some reason, and I don't know why. And not to mention the boss fights are way easier. Well, there's really only just one boss fight. The other stuff's just chase sequences. It's like, oh, you gotta run away, and that's it. That's the game. It really feels like it starts and it ends. And I feel like if you replay the game, you're gonna breeze through the game in like an hour. Like, it's so easy. It's the easiest game in the series, besides the first one. It really is, and that's kind of unfortunate. When I say that, I don't mean that I want an extremely difficult game. Like, the puzzles are still freaking mind-numbingly difficult when they want to be, but the game itself is easy to breeze through. They don't put a lot of challenges in your way that you don't have to really, like, look into in order to get through it. It's like, oh, here's a puzzle room. Oh, you got out of that room? Good. Here's another puzzle room for you. Figure it out. You figure that out? Hey, come into this room and figure out how to open this door with these weird wheels and stuff. You got to turn the wheels in a certain pattern in order to, open these doors. And there's a lot of stuff that they give you as hints to know to open these doors. Like, you turn on the black light, it shows the symbols of which you have to do in order to, complete the puzzle, which I didn't do. I literally did it out of pure randomness. And in my video, I literally just turned wheels, and I noticed that when the wheel was supposed to be the one turned, it stayed. It didn't turn backwards. So that's how I figured it out. I didn't even use the black light. So I literally figured it out by pure luck, I guess, because I just kind of ran through and did it. My other gripe is the character thing. It's not the characters not getting utilized, which some of them haven't been utilized properly, but that's not a huge thing for me. Like, I'm not that upset that Pianosaurus wasn't used. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate because they build him as like this important character. They even made merch out of him, and it's like they don't even use him. He's just there, then he gets wrecked, and it's over. It's like, oh man, you could have had at least a chase sequence out of it. It's so stupid. Like the Pianosaurus thing is probably the only thing that I've seen that people gripe about that I'm like, yeah, I hear you there, because that was just bullshit. It was so stupid. And then they sold merch of him like he's some kind of like important character. He's not. He was killed off immediately. He's not some important character. He's just selling you merch. And that's kind of one of the other things I'm going to mention later on is the whole merchandise thing, which I don't mind because obviously I buy the shit. So I'm guilty. I have shirts. I have a backpack. I have all kinds of shit. The mask. Um, I like the merch. It's cute. I'll talk about it now. It's cute stuff, you know, and I'll probably always buy it because I think the character's cute. Downstairs in a tote. I have him in a tote because I don't have enough room for him. I wish I had enough room for him. I have every single Smiling Critters plushie, so I'm guilty. I buy the merch, so I don't know if that makes me a bad person for basically buying it and then yet coming here to gripe about it. But it's like, to me, and I'm not griping about them selling merch. I would do the same thing. If you have marketable characters, why the hell wouldn't you sell them? But it's like, why sell stuff like for characters that you clearly don't value, like Pianosaurus shirts and whatever? You don't even see him as a valuable character. Like Boxy Boo. Where the hell is he at? He's been advertised for so long, and I think the only game he's ever made an appearance in, I mean, besides the Hour of Joy tape, is Project Playtime, which I'm not playing. It just doesn't interest me. I apologize. Anybody who plays that game, I'm glad you enjoy it. It just doesn't pique my interest. I'm sorry. And I believe he's in that game, and that's it. I don't think we've seen him in any of these other games, unless he's been hiding in the shadows and you just didn't notice him. I've been waiting for him this entire time, and he's yet to make an appearance. The prototype was super underwhelming as a villain for Chapter 5. Like, I thought he was going to look super terrifying, scary. Like, I had so much buildup, and he just looks like a jester. And he has the water news legs, you know, from Monsters Inc., which made me laugh. I'm like, I can't take this guy seriously. I'm sorry. He's just not scary at all. The way he talks isn't scary. I mean, he's kind of like the Mimic from Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't know which one came first. I don't know if technically the prototype was around before the Mimic, but either way, the Mimic is basically the prototype. They mimic voices, they act that way, they take on traits of other things that they've seen, and they copy it. That's literally the same character, just different look. And honestly, the Mimic's cooler. He's a lot scarier. If I saw the Mimic approaching me, I'd be terrified. If I saw the prototype approaching me, I'd probably laugh, because I'd be thinking about Water News from Monsters, Inc., and then I'd see the stupid clown face, and I'd really start laughing. He's not scary. I'm sorry. He didn't scare me at all. Not a single time in the game that I saw him was I ever scared. Lily Lovebrain scared me more than he did, and she's not scary at all either. She just looks like a crackhead. It sounds like one too. There really was no scary villain in this chapter, which is extremely unfortunate. I don't like, there was a couple of jump scare moments where something happened that was kind of unexpected, but it's like, I'm not scared of Huggy. I think he's cute, so it's hard to be scared of him. You know, the Outsidimals or the Outimals, they're not really scary. They just randomly pop out if you don't turn on your light or if you're not in the light. And that's the part that is scary, because you never know when it's going to happen if you're not paying attention. So that does get scary, but after a while you start to get desensitized to it. Where you're like, oh, okay, whatever, sure. So yeah, I can't say there was really a ton of terrifying moments in this, and even the chase scenes weren't even scary. It was just kind of annoying because they have you in a blind panic where you're just constantly running. You don't even have time to look at what you're supposed to do to complete the chase sequence, like looking for the magnet strips or looking for something to turn to activate the magnet strips. I'm mainly talking about specifically the Lily Lovebraid's chase sequence, because that pissed me off so bad, because it's like they expect you to move non-stop without stopping, and yet you have to stop in order to do certain things. And they don't really give you a ton of time to do it. I mean, they give you enough to beat it, just enough, but just barely, because if you even remotely slow yourself down, you're dead. Like, it's very unforgiving. I'm glad it has a checkpoint system, because I would have probably punched my computer if it didn't. That game, that whole chase sequence started to piss me off. Again, I cut a lot of that out of my video because I didn't feel like people would want to watch 30 minutes of me running back and forth trying to figure out how to do it. I wouldn't want to watch that, so I cut it out. I never release videos that I wouldn't want to watch myself. So that's just how I make my videos. I apologize, if that's not appetizing as a viewer to watch. But that being said, I went through the whole merchandise thing. I went through all that other aspect of the game. And the other thing that really kind of annoys me about the characters that I was kind of getting to before, and this is kind of one of my big things, is that we're introducing ourselves to characters now. Like, we're four before this game, we were 4 chapters in, and we were then getting introduced to new characters, like they're brand new characters. Where have they been? Like they've not been in any promotional material before at all. They weren't even on posters. You could have at least slapped them on a poster. Hey, Doughy the Dough Man, Outimals. You know, these toys have been around. It's not like they were invented after Playtime Co. shut down. They've been there, and yet they're not advertised. They're not seen on posters. They're not mentioned. Nobody even talks about them. Like supposedly, like Giblet is friends with Poppy. Poppy doesn't ever mention this little guy ever. Never once. She doesn't even drop his name once. Hey, yeah, me and Giblet did this, blah, blah, blah. No, he's never mentioned until Chapter 5 shows up, and suddenly he's this pivotal character. Chumpkins, really cute character. Again, if they make a plush, I'm buying it. I'm sorry, he's a really cute character. The one thing that Mob Entertainment nails, that's making marketable characters, and that's one of the things that they're consistently good at. They make characters that people fall in love with. And there's something to say about that. There's something to say about having a good character designer who's able to consistently come up with characters that not only do people gravitate towards, but people actually love. And they want to buy plushes and merchandise of it because they're so cool looking. So, through all my complaints of these games, I will say that you can't take that away from Mob. They're so good at making marketable characters. They've made so much money off of their creations. And I'm not sure if the creators of Poppy Playtime are the ones who actually design the characters, or if they have a character designer, which I'm sure that they probably have somebody who comes up with some sort of ideas, unless they are some kind of creative genius where they have everything brainstormed, in which case, congratulations to you guys. You guys are geniuses. But either way, whoever makes them, they need a gold star because the characters are always tip top. But I really feel like they could have done themselves a really good service in introducing these characters earlier on. Like I said, even on a poster, or even if you found a note that says, you know, Giblet's name, or Chumpkins, or Doughy, or anything, man. It's like there's nothing. It's just like, boom, here you go. And they've been around, and you just have to deal with it. And oh, by the way, there's new mechanics for your hands that didn't exist before, but now it's extremely relevant. Here, now you have a magnetized hand. Here, now you have a pressure hand. It's like, where was all this? And where's the logic in order to open a door or turn a valve, you have to be standing in a square box or something? Like, where's the science behind that? I could go all day, man, about these little things that really annoy me about the game. But at the end of the day, I do love these games. I'll probably always play the game. I said in my video that if Chapter 6 is really wonky, I'm never coming back to it, but I just can't, man. It's like with Five Nights at Freddy's. Even whenever they've made games that I'm like, that was okay. You know, like Secret of the Mimic was an okay game for me, but whenever the VR release of it comes out, you know I'm going to play it. It's Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm sorry. I'm a huge fan, and I'm a huge fan of Poppy Playtime. It's just, I really wish that they would listen to fan criticism. I really feel like if they're going to continue the series, prolong it until like a Chapter 10, which is fine if you have enough story to tell, but don't make it like Garden of Banban. I enjoy Garden of Banban. I got a crap ton of Garden of Banban merch. I love mascot horror games. I'm a huge fan of mascots in general. Like I have a Chuck E. Cheese sign up here. I have a Chuck E. Cheese plush from the 1980s. It's literally an original plush from the 1980s. You can tell because of how wonky it is. And it's the original Chuck. I'm a huge fan of mascots. I love them. I love mascot horror games as a genre. I have a whole playlist of mascot horror games that I've played. I love them. I absolutely love these games. So I'll probably always come back just because I'm so addicted to mascots. And that's why I buy all the merchandise, by the way. But, oh my god, dude. Like, there's so many things you could do to make these games a lot more enjoyable. I mentioned this on one of the videos I watched where someone, I can't remember the person's name. I wish I could remember it just so I can at least throw their name out here. But I was having a conversation with somebody on Markiplier's Chapter 5 video. I haven't watched it yet. I clicked on it, and I saw, like, the beginning part, where, you know, before he gets into the game, where he's just talking about his broken headphones. But I talked with somebody on there, or I responded to somebody who was basically asking people's criticisms, like what do they have a problem with, and I listed my criticisms, and one of them is I really wish that with puzzles, if you fail them after a certain time, they give you a little hint. They're like, hey, look, you're screwing up, you're not figuring it out, boom, look at this. Even if it's not telling you exactly what to do, but it's just like look in this direction or something like that. Something to kind of point you a certain way, so you're not sitting there for an hour and a half screwing around, and then you realize I wasn't even supposed to do that. I wasn't even supposed to be here. There's no hint letting you know that you're supposed to do stuff. You're just supposed to understand it immediately. Like it's like they expect you to be them, like expect you to be a developer. And as soon as you see something, you're just supposed to click in your head, light bulb. And I'm sure there is some people out there that automatically get it, but I don't know how. Some of these things I don't know. Some of them I could be like, yeah, you just have common sense. Some of them I don't know how you would get it on your first thought process. Like I don't know how you immediately go, yeah, that's how you do it, and then you figure it out immediately. In my opinion, the only people who could do that are people who have played through the games. I don't know how you could do it otherwise. Unless you spent an hour sitting there looking at the puzzle trying to figure it out. There's no way you could literally just run right through it, though. I don't see that happening. It takes a lot. Some of those puzzles take some legitimate thinking to do. Because you literally have to, like, navigate some of those puzzles like you would in real life. Because if you fall, you have to start all the way back from the beginning, and it's a whole pain. But, again, I love these games. I love the characters. The developers, they're great. Anytime I've had interactions with them as far as like commenting on their videos on Instagram, they've heart reacted my comments before. I believe they responded to one before. I don't have anything to say about Mob. They seem to be a great studio. I don't think I've heard anything negative about them. I don't, and even if there is, I'd rather just not deal with that, man, because there's so much drama everywhere. I'd rather just not focus in on that. Like there's so many things you can nitpick everywhere, so I'm sure there's been something where they were like, oh yeah, these developers are pushy, or these developers have done this. There's probably something out there that you can find. I'm not interested. Unless they've become serial killers or something. I'm not interested in hearing what they've done, truthfully. And maybe that makes me a bad person, but I don't want to get into it. I just don't. There's so much negativity out there. I try to focus on what's positive. And I love these games. I love these games, and I'll probably continue to play them despite what I said in my video. And I hope everybody else does too. And I truly hope that the next game, which I know it's inevitable, it's going to come. They're not just going to cut it short because people are whining about Chapter 5. Trust me. Because there is still a lot of people who have enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the game. I want to make sure that's a point that comes across here too. I did not hate the game. I didn't think Chapter 5 was an abomination. I think it's better than Chapter 4. In fact, I think Chapter 4 was the bad game. I think Chapter 4 had a lot of issues with it, a lot of bugs. I encountered so many bugs when playing that game. It was so bad. There's so many things I could go on and on about that game. I really should have made this video when Chapter 4 came out, but another thing I do want to mention before I end this, I know I'm ranting, and I've probably upset a couple of people at least throughout this video, and I'm sorry about that. I'm not trying to upset anybody. I'm just trying to get my opinion off my chest before this whole Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 thing's out of my head, because I'm always thinking about so many different things. So I want to get this off out of my head in time before it's just totally gone. I enjoyed this game. I had a lot of fun with it. There was a couple of really good scary moments. The music's always good. I always love the music. The characters, of course, they look cool, except for Prototype. I'll never like Prototype. There's nothing you couldn't pay me to like Prototype. He looks so stupid. But everybody else, they look cool. None of them are scary particularly, but they look cool. Like Huggy looks really cool. I'll say that. But he's already an established character. Kissy's cute and cool. I like Kissy. Poppy, she's a cool looking character. I don't have any gripes with those characters. It's just when you like put somebody out there like a big bad, it'd be like having Freddy Fazbear, but he looks really goofy and cartoony and stupid looking. And when he's in your face, you're not going to be scared because he looks stupid. You know, you're supposed to see him and be in terror. You're supposed to panic when you see Freddy Fazbear right outside your door. You're not supposed to be like, oh shit. Look at him, it's Freddy Fazbear. Oh, I died. You know, you're not supposed to react like that. You're supposed to be like, turn on your light, jump and panic and slam your door shut immediately and freak out. I don't get that vibe with Prototype, and he's been like showed as this big bad from chapter 3 on. He's supposed to be, and even chapter 2, when you see his little spidery hand grab Mommy Longlegs, or what was left of her. I don't know. It's so upsetting. As a fan, to not like something from a series that you love, it feels like a crushing blow, like a kick to the nuts. It almost makes me mad. You know, like being such a fan of something and then having something come out where you're like, come on, man. You know, and I mentioned that I wish that it would have ended with chapter 5, and I still say I wish it would have ended with chapter 5. This should have been the wrap up. They should be moving on to another franchise. Even if it would be a mascot horror franchise, or even a continuation of Poppy Playtime, just a different storyline, maybe a different character, maybe in a different time period. There's so many things you could do within the Poppy Playtime universe. For example, a VR game. This franchise is meant for VR. The whole grab pack thing, that's literally perfect for VR. I hope that they have that in the pipeline. I know they're working on a movie. I hope they're working on a VR game. I hope they're working on spin-offs. I'll play them. It's just getting nonsensical, man. We're going deeper and deeper into this facility, and somehow there's established characters down here that weren't established up here, and these characters that were here are no longer relevant. They're not down here anymore, so that whatever happened up here doesn't matter. Forget about it. It's irrelevant. Nobody cares about what happened here. We're down here now, so forget about it. And forget about whatever the hell was going on up here, because none of it matters. You know, we're way below ground. I mean, I can't tell you how many times we've fallen into pits and down elevator shafts. We might as well be in the Earth's core or straight into hell. The next chapter might literally be in hell. Maybe we're going to find out that this entire time it's been a dream or something. If it turns out to be a dream, that'll be the only thing that'll redeem this for me, where I'll be like, oh, so that's why it kind of got ridiculous, because it's a dream. And at the same time, I want to punch somebody in the face for making it another, it was a dream ending. I don't want one of those. Like, seriously, come on. And maybe that's why they're delaying the ending. Maybe they don't have an ending in plan or in their mind, and they don't want to release something that's not very good and conclusive. I don't know, guys. You know, let me know what your opinion is on this whole thing down below. Do you share my opinion? Do you have a different opinion? I'm happy to hear all sides, you know. And I hope you guys enjoyed Chapter 5. I hope a lot of people at least got something out of Chapter 5, because I did. Each chapter has something positive you can take away from it, I think. I've yet to play a single one of these games and be like, wow, that had zero redeeming qualities. Each one has something where I could be like, yeah, you know what, that was cool. That was good. They have a certain mechanic or something, like the magnetized mechanic. I thought that was super cool. I like that. So there's always something, even the character design, where you can be like, yeah, that was freaking awesome. I enjoyed that. And this game had a lot of it. So to people who say that this had no positives and it was a train wreck of a game, you're lying. It had a lot of good things to take from it. So anybody who says it had no positives, you're a freaking liar. So make Chapter 6 a really special chapter. Maybe even conclude the series. That would make a lot of people happy, including myself. And then move on. You know, make spin-offs. Make a VR game. Make the movie. You know, there's so many things you could do, man. You could even make like an animated YouTube series out of this. Make a new franchise. You know, you guys are so good at coming up with characters. Don't just waste them all in Poppy Playtime. You know, make a different franchise. I don't know. I'm done talking. I'm done rambling. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hit like if you did. Subscribe if you're not already. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.